Okay, this is Shannon Kringen, Goddess Kring, speaking into my Yeti microphone. Just doing a very impromptu, quick, short video right now because I'm going to head to a modeling gig soon for art drawing, figure drawing. Um, this is the necklace that I recently glued opals onto. I'm feeling really chaotic today. I just washed my hair out of the shower. Um, I'm feeling a bit caught up in envy and jealousy, and I'm wanting to acknowledge that as a creative person, I have a fear of success and failure. And I don't know if everybody feels this way. I think that people talk about fear of failure a lot, but do people talk about fear of success very much? I did the Goddess Kring TV show. Okay, here, the microphone. I hope that you can still hear me. I'm connected to the microphone with I'm wearing, I'm going to do a better video later, but I'm wearing my Goddess Kring. These are my designs that I had printed on a spandex bodysuit. I don't know. Okay, I have to take the headphones off for a sec. I hope the mic is picking up my voice. I'm just going to do a funky video where here I am in my apartment with Goddess Kring videotapes everywhere. I'm in my bodysuit that is my designs printed onto a spandex bodysuit, because there's companies now that can print onto fabric. And so I don't have to dance around in body paint, not wearing anything, because I'm not allowed to put that on my YouTube channel or other social media websites. And so here's my bodysuit where you can see my designs and my torso without me having to not wear anything. And here are recent shoes I'm painting. I put some fake opals on here. These are really pretty in a better light. And I'm doing green sparkly. And then I glued rhinestones on these shoes that I found at the thrift store, and I hand glued each one of these on here. It took a while. Just like my car is a Honda Fit that has hundreds and hundreds of rhinestones glued. It took me 2 years, and I'm still gluing rhinestones on my shoe, on my car, using silicone shower sealant. So this is just, I wanted to just be like, here's Goddess Kring. I'm now 55 years old. Apparently I'm on the autism spectrum. Not that I buy into all of the labels. But you know, the success, okay, let me put this back on. The success of Fantasy A gets a mattress. I'm friends with some of the people involved in that, and they are supportive of the whole Goddess Kring thing. They are really nice people, and they deserve all the success in the world with their movie. And you could say that the movie is a runaway hit, a cult classic. I've seen it. I saw it when it screened in Olympia, Washington recently. It recently screened, Fantasy A Gets a Mattress recently screened at the Egyptian Theater in Seattle. Maybe I'll read the quote that I wrote about it when I find that. But I was just talking about feeling like in high school, I used to win tennis matches because I'm a good tennis player and I'm left-handed. And I would always feel guilty. Like if I lost the tennis match, I would hyperventilate and feel bad about losing. And if I won the tennis match, then I would look at the expression of the face of the person who lost the tennis match, and I would feel sorry for them. And I would feel like, I'm sorry I won. Like, I took an acting class. Oh God, look at, I've got food in my mouth. Oh my God. This is the lack of perfection. Sorry. This is the lack of perfection that is Goddess Kring. This is me being really busy. I really love this necklace that I found this at the thrift store, and it was the red beaded necklace. Whoever made this, it's beautiful. I don't know who made it, but I found this at the thrift store really inexpensively. And then I glued on, these are fake acrylic gems that look kind of like opals, but they're, just made out of plastic or acrylic or whatever. And then my bodysuit, that's my designs, and my tattoo that means be yourself no matter what they say. So I have lots of talent and lots of creative, ambitious ideas, but I am afraid of success. I like to say tame the shame, suck the sugar cane. I have a fear of success and a fear of failure. And then I realize I need to tap into what I love to do, because when you succeed at something, sometimes people are jealous of you or envious of you, and they think, oh, well, you don't deserve your success. You're not good enough. You're not really good enough to be successful, even though you're successful, meaning you're famous or wealthy, or you won an award with your film, or you're, the fantasy egg gets a mattress people are, some people think their movie isn't very good and some people think it's great, and different people have different things to say about it. And I am feeling in touch with how I sometimes get envious when I see other people succeeding. And yet I wouldn't say I'm jealous, because jealousy implies that you wish you could take away what that person has and get it for yourself, in sort of a mean-spirited kind of like, hey man, that's mine, I deserve that. Whereas envy is more like you wish, oh, I wish I could do that. I wish I could make a film. And like, I am working on a Goddess Kring documentary. And although my film is not anything like their film is a comedy. Fantasy Egg It's a Mattress is partly based on some real things from Fantasy A's life. But it's a fictionalized version of certain things that happened, and it's kind of a surrealistic movie. And I'm finding myself feeling a little bit envious, but happy for them and in awe of them. And it's reminding me to take responsibility for my own feelings of fear of success and fear of failure. And I wrote, I'm really happy to be included. Let's see if I can find what I wrote about the movie Fantasy Egg It's a Mattress. The topic of this video, because I tend to ramble on and go off topic and go on tangents, although in my mind, off topic, I connect the dots in a different way because I am on the autism spectrum. I guess that could be my excuse, but no, I think my brain really is a little different. I was officially assessed by mainstream therapeutic models of assessing for autism spectrum and having a neurodiverse brain. And this is what I wrote about the movie. This is what I wrote, and I'm happy that I'm one of the people. They quoted Sir Mix-a-Lot. They quoted Seattle Times reporters and folk singers and interesting people, prominent people in Seattle. And so Goddess Kring, artist, is one of the prominent people in Seattle that they included. So I wrote on their Instagram, where they're, or all over social media, where they are putting little cute little cards up with the person's name and photo. The one they decided, I wrote like a whole paragraph about Fantasy Egg It's a Mattress, the movie. I wrote a whole paragraph about it. But what they chose to share, if I can find it on their website, oh shoot, I'm not finding it, is that the movie stuck with me for a few days after. Let's see, the soundbite that they used was, the mood it creates lingered with me long after watching the movie. Goddess Kring, artist. So if you go to Instagram, you can see that. And then they quoted somebody else. This film presents Fantasy A as a folk hero for all the artists struggling to exist in an expensive city, says Jesse Fortino, music artist, Tiny Vapors. And then Brendan Kiley, staff writer for the Seattle Times, says, there is a part of us that wakes up, a part we've been yearning to have woken. So I think that's an interesting statement from those people. 2023 sleeper hit, says Gabe Corwente, senior city editor, Seattle Today. So that's interesting. Those are some of the quotes they chose to share recently. And this is the full quote by Goddess Kring, me, Shannon Kringen, artist, who is feeling a little envious and yet inspired and grateful and happy for them. And happy I'm connected. And they invited me to be in one of their public service announcements at the Beacon Cinema that we filmed. And they had me do like imitate a cat in a funny way. Fantasy A Gets a Mattress is a quintessential example of a movie mirroring its own message. Underdogs can win. The funky, unique, dreamlike, campy, humored scenes create a synergy effect that left me the day after remembering the atmosphere the film created like it was a dream I had that inspired me and haunted me simultaneously. The mood it creates lingered with me long after watching the movie. Its power in striking a chord with audiences seems to be in alignment with the phrase, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. The chemistry I felt with the crowd cheering on the characters had a euphoric energy snowball-like effect. The unusual, awkward characters and scenes mixing real-life challenges with bizarre, surreal fantasy combined in an absurd way that reminds one to not let perfectionism stop them from expressing and moving forward and pursuing their dreams. I enjoyed the instrumental music fading in and out as well. Shannon Kringen, aka Goddess Kring. So that's my run-on sentence, complicated quote, which I think is pretty well written about Fantasy A Gets a Mattress, the quintessential, movie that mirrors its own message. The underdogs can win, because if you judge the movie in a certain way, you could say that it fails to hit certain marks, and yet they intentionally used unprofessional actors, people who are not professionally trained as actors. Intentionally, they wanted to use more real people and have kind of quirky scenes and quirky dialogue. And the movie has a certain kind of plot with a certain message, but they don't actually spell everything out. And so the movie in some ways is very kind of cheesy and campy, and yet funny and interesting and weird. And it leaves you feeling the beginning, the middle, and the end. And there's some really interesting scenes. And yet something becomes popular and like a cult classic. And it's almost like people are forgiving it for its flaws if you compare it to certain movies. Quentin Tarantino and that movie Car Wash, and John Waters, and some of the directors who do kind of moody, campy, the Coen brothers, some kind of certain kind of quirky comedy about eccentric, strange, eccentric, interesting people in Seattle, and the gentrification and the urban decay of it all. A lot of the places that they filmed Fantasy Gets a Mattress don't even exist anymore, buildings that were torn down, and everything is rapidly changing in Seattle and getting really expensive, and really there's more and more homeless people, there's autistic people, there's Black rapper autistic people, have a hard time in the city. So I could say that it's striking a chord with people. And so the point of my video, this is Shannon Kring and Goddess Kring, and I mean full respect to all the people involved in Fantasy A Gets a Mattress. And I'm also trying to love and respect myself and not feel like I'm an egomaniac. Obviously, I'm not an egomaniac, because if I was, I would not allow you to see my messy apartment. My Goddess Kring TV show that I had on for many years, I would acknowledge that I felt suicidal from time to time, but I never acted upon my suicidal, dark, negative suicidal thoughts or feelings. I never acted upon it, but I was honest in acknowledging. So right now in 2023, I'm a 55-year-old person who has survived all of my turmoil in my own mind and my body, heart, mind, and soul. And I've managed to figure out a way to survive in this expensive city. I have many strategies of how to live frugally, and I have a really nice landlord and other different benefits that I have applied for because of my financial situation. I'm not high income. I'm kind of a low income, but I work really hard. I have like 4 different jobs. I'm a pet sitter, a dog walker, a standardized patient medical model, as well as an art model. And I work really hard. I'm kind of a workaholic. I feel safe when I work, not just because I'm earning money, but because I feel like I need the structure. Like I have a lot of chaos. My apartment is messy. I'm continuously trying to clean and organize my space. My brain kind of looks like my spirally Windsong, touch the Windsong spiral drive. My artwork kind of looks like these shapes. I mean, my mind, the swirly shapes that I draw. Here's another drawing of mine. catch the windsong spiral drive, crack the code, left and right node. So intimacy, chasing me, feel like it's erasing me, into me you see. So an opal moonstone and all of that. So I'm working on music with Dave Flowers. So I have a fear of success and a fear of failure. Like if you fail, then people are like, "Ah, you know, people make fun of you if you fail. And then if you succeed, people also sometimes think you don't deserve your success, or they're jealous or they're envious. That's the dark side of success. But then again, internal success, like if you, a songwriter might think their favorite song is a certain song that's not popular with the audience, and one of their weaker songs might be a hit on the radio, and yet they thought that wasn't their best song. So in other words, there's internal success. To me, success is if I produce a piece of art and I publish it. Like right now, I'm working on a poetry book, the Goddess Kring, Kringonian Pizzazz poetry book that I'm going to self-publish, because I'm not into sending my poems out and maybe getting rejected by publishers. I want to self-publish because I'm saying yes to Shannon Kringen, just like I'm saying yes when I did my public access TV show. I really doubt that I could have auditioned and gotten on a regular TV show because I'm shy, and also because I do my own weird style that I like to do. So I said, yes, Goddess Kring is going to have a TV show. Shannon Kringen is going to get her own TV show. Just like I said, yes, I'm going to publish my own poetry book. I have another book called Art, Identity, and the Sacred, which I'll show you maybe on a different video. I've already showed those. So I just wanted to say something about feeling a little envious of the fantasy agates and mattress phenomena and the success that it's having. And at the same time feeling inspired, and then remembering that when I was in high school and I would win a tennis match, I would literally feel guilty that I won the tennis match, even though I was proud, like, yeah, I won the tennis match, I did a good job and I won a tennis match. Then I would feel sorry for the person who lost to me, and I would look at their face and they look, oh, they look all disappointed, and I would feel sad for them, and almost like literally feeling like I should apologize for my own success. Like, sorry, I beat you at tennis. I did a better job than you at this tennis match. And it's like, that's part of life, is winning and losing when you're playing sports. I guess when you're an artist, it's not quite the same. You know, like I guess some musicians win Grammys and some don't. Some artists and actors win Academy Awards and some do not. The Fantasy Agates and Mattress movie is, some critics are loving it. I've heard some people say negative things about it and put it down, but they're not focusing on that. They're very good at tuning out the naysayers and anyone that's saying negative things about their movie, and full speed ahead trying to get a distribution deal and get the green light to work on their next project. I guess they're already working on another project. I would love it if they would write a part for Goddess Kring, but that it's not up to me, it's up to them. But I am kind of friends with them a little bit, or you know, they know about the whole Goddess Kring phenomena, but I need to focus on myself and focus on, because when I feel envious or jealous of other people, whether it's my personal life or my artistic life, that's an indication to me that I need to take better care of myself. Because if I love myself and I'm happy with myself, then I can be inspired and excited for other people's success, instead of like, hey, what about me? I feel left out. Hey, what about Goddess Kring? What about Shannon Kringen? You know, I'm an artist too, and I create cool stuff. And that's part of the reason why I did my art car. My latest big art project is my opal moonstone Goddess Kring Honda Fit that has hundreds and hundreds of rhinestones glued all over it, that I glued on there with silicone sealant, similar to the kind that you use in your shower to glue tile. So I just wanted to say something about failure and success, envy and jealousy. May I take whatever jealousy I have and transmute that into feeling a little bit envious, meaning, gee, I wish I could, you know, create a film and have it connect with audiences. You know, that would be amazing. But all you can do if you're a filmmaker is do your best and put it out into the world and try to find an audience that connects with your film. Just like if you're a painter or a singer or an actor or a dancer or a writer, you create something, you publish it, and you try to get it to connect with your audience. Recently, I watched a Goddess Kring video from 20 years ago where I said I wanted to be famous, and my friend said, maybe you shouldn't say that on camera. Which is true, that it's not cool to say you want to be famous on camera. It doesn't sound cool. I want to be famous. Like, it sounds silly. It sounds like, well, what does that mean? You want to be famous. What does that mean? To different people, it probably means different things. To me, it just means I want to know that I have permission and the audacity to create artwork and share it, whether it's video or music or a painting or a poem, because I do different kinds of art. I'm a model. I pose for people who paint and draw, but I also write poetry and record spoken word and music. I also paint. I also take a lot of photographs. I also do these video monologues. So I do lots of different kinds of artistic expression. I've always wanted to be appreciated. So when you say you want to be famous, I'm asking myself this question. I want to be famous. What does that mean? It could be that I didn't get enough attention as a little kid, and I saw Shirley Temple on TV when I was 3, and I thought, I wish I could be like Shirley Temple and sing and dance and be cute and have people appreciate me. That's basically what I wanted. So I wanted somebody, and I think Bette Midler said that, to want to be in showbiz, you have to be a little bit neurotic, which, if you want this kind of attention, because the thing is, if you become famous, usually people that become famous and are willing to acknowledge on camera what it's actually like, the pros and cons, they say that whatever is good about you gets amplified, but also whatever's bad about you gets amplified. So whatever your personality flaws are, like if you have mental health challenges, if you become famous, those might get more intense. If you have a great sense of humor and you become famous, you might be known as a very funny person that makes everybody laugh, and that sort of gets amplified. Your amazing sense of humor gets amplified, and it spreads positive, joyful energy around with microphones and cameras. Amplified chameleon getting her dreams on. That's another line in one of my poems. Amplified chameleon getting her dreams on. So whatever is good and bad gets amplified when you're in the spotlight, when you're photographed and videotaped, and there's microphones and cameras amplifying whatever you're saying or doing. So what does that even mean? So really what matters is, because then I could get lost in that of trying to get the audience to like me or whatever it is. And it's like, wait a minute, am I even having fun? Like, are you even doing what you enjoy? Like, if you're an artist creating something, that's the most fun thing to see about the Fantasy Egg It's a Mattress success, is seeing the audience, seeing people laugh and smile and be photographed. I took a few selfies with Fantasy A, and he's very charismatic, and it's nice to see him looking so happy and being appreciated, and having the audience and the cast and the crew of the movie all appreciate each other together. And my friend is calling me, but I'm going to call him back. This is my Goddess Kring phone, Kring. I'm going to call my friend back in a minute. I'm going to say, call you right back. Okay. So my friend Dave Flowers is calling me from Interactive Jack Records. And this is my Kring phone with design that I did printed on there. So I just wanted to acknowledge that I love a little bit of envy about Fantasy Egg It's a Mattress success. And yet at the same time, I'm happy that I'm included. I'm connected with them. I know them. I've worked with them a little bit on a public service announcement. I'm happy for them. It's nice to see the audience appreciating the movie. It's really, they worked hard on it for 4 years, and they are surfing the amazing waves, with their movie. So surf the waves with Goddess Kring and her Kring bodysuit and her opal moonstone necklace. I will just continue on acknowledging my feelings, and I want to get back to doing my art, get back to archiving, digitizing and archiving my over 700 Goddess Kring videos. I have VHS and DVDs. My friend and I have a device that we take VCR, we plug it into our computer, and we turn it into an MPEG digital file, and it's not very big, and we have external hard drive. And I found a really good deal on a sale on external hard drive. And then I have this 8 terabyte hard drive, external hard drive for my music, my videos, and my photos. And then I have, because for the last 20 years, I've created a lot of videos, a lot of music, and a lot of poetry, and a lot of photos, and a lot of paintings. So I have all of those archived and digitized. And we are working on the idea of making a documentary film and interviewing Goddess Kring fans, and maybe having it start with me driving around in my art car and then a flashback. Okay, I got to get ready for my job. So I'm going to go art model. I'll be back. So this is all about congratulations to the Fantasy Egg It's a Mattress cast and crew, everyone involved in that film. I'm happy that I'm connected in helping promote it and doing public service announcement with them, and I might work with them in the future. They said they would love to work with me again. That would be amazing. That would be great. They're really nice people. They work hard, and I admire what they're doing, and they're surfing the waves of success and focusing on the positive momentum and not worry about criticism that they're receiving, but they're mostly getting praise for their unique film. And it's nice that people are forgiving it for its flaws and not like overly psychoanalyzing and being all extremely critical of it, because sometimes I think people overly criticize art and then it takes all the joy out of it. And you can find the spark in something. The fact that it's not perfect makes it even more charming and interesting. That's one way to see it. And people say, well, I could do a film like that. Oh, I could do a film as good. It was like, well, you didn't do a film. You have to do a film. In order to actually do a film and get it screened and distributed, that's a lot of work involved. Just like, doing an album and recording music, and people see a painting on the wall and they go, well, I could paint that. Well, you didn't paint that. Somebody else painted that. So you don't know until you actually do the process of making a film or an album or a painting, and then you publish it, get it out into the public eye, and then you see what the audience says or does, positive or negative or neutral. So I'm just thinking about all these things like jealousy, envy, my ego, my fear of success, and my fear of failure. Really, what I want to do is just love myself and do my best. I want to do my best art and share it with the public. And I don't really have control over whether people like me or don't like me, or how popular I am or not popular, if people think I'm weird or whatever, or if people think I'm great. Some people thought of my Goddess Kring show as just some lady dancing around with no clothing on, with body paint, and talking about all of her personal problems. Some people thought of me as a philosophical, like my favorite thing that I did. I'm proud that I was so honest on my show about my problems and my flaws, but it's a little bit embarrassing that I sort of confessed all of my sins or whatever in a way, and acknowledged what was not good about me. Maybe I should have, but then if I talked about how great I was, then people think, oh, you're so egotistical. But then if you talk about your dark side, then people also criticize you for that. It's shameful to air your dirty laundry. Or somebody told me, you should put your skeletons back in the closet, Goddess Kring, you should put your skeletons back in the closet. And somebody on the Stranger newspaper once said, I hope she runs into a burning building, which is extremely cruel. I don't know why somebody felt like they needed to say that, but that's horrible. Or people, thinking that I was going to end my life prematurely, and thinking that, because I'm glad that I was honest in talking about the desire to escape planet Earth because I couldn't handle my problems, or I felt trapped, like I couldn't solve my problems. It's good to be honest if you have those feelings. But I had a therapist I was talking to about it, and I had a mom and a dad. I have a mom and a dad that I can share. I have support people around me, but I struggle with moodiness. And now I found out that I'm highly sensitive, ADHD, OCD. I have synesthesia. When I hear music, I see shapes in my head, which is kind of cool, but kind of distracting and makes everything seem so complicated to me. I'm very sensitive to the world around me, to the way things taste and smell, and the texture of everything. I'm just very sensitive. The flip side is to be insensitive. So there it is. That in a nutshell, that's what I'm feeling right now on it's 12/12/23. It's December 12th, 2023, 12/12/23. So this is Shannon Kring and Goddess Kring saying congratulations to Fantasy Egg It's a Mattress, all the cast and crew and everyone involved in that movie. Happy to be connected to it and cheering them on, and trying to not focus on feeling a little envious because I'm happy for them, and that's cool. And I want to cheer them on, and I want to focus on doing the best Shannon Kring and Goddess Kring art that I can do and sharing it with whoever appreciates it, and not worrying about people who don't like what I do. And also encouraging you, whoever's watching, if you do art or music, or you write, or you dance, or you sing, or you act, or you take care of animals, or you're a housewife, or whatever, I encourage you to do what you love and focus on doing what you love and ignore people who are critical, including your own self. If you're criticizing yourself too much, try to not take it too seriously. The little dark voice in your head that's like, you can't do that. You're not good enough. You don't deserve blah, blah, blah. Or you're an egomaniac. If you want success, it means you're a narcissist and you're an egomaniac. And it's like, wait a minute. If we're doing what we love and we can inspire people, that can be a positive thing. When I see somebody on stage singing a song, do I think they're a narcissist who's too full of themselves, or are they singing music from their heart and sharing it and giving it to the audience? You could say that it's very giving to get up on stage and potentially make a fool out of yourself, but you're singing a song and people are clapping for you. It's kind of like you're giving the audience a gift. So that's another way to see it, instead of it being a selfish, self-centered kind of ego thing. And knowing that when you go on stage, some people are not going to like what you do and they're going to criticize it. So I mean, Bob Dylan is thought of as a great songwriter, but I know people who don't like maybe they might appreciate his lyrics, but they don't like the way he sounds, and they heavily criticize. Oh, he doesn't deserve his success. Oh, he doesn't sound good. He sings out, you can criticize anybody. Neil Young gets heavily criticized. I love what he does. Not everybody likes Neil Young. So there's an example. Or Tori Amos. I love Tori Amos's music. A lot of people make fun of her and criticize her. So I'm realizing that in order for these people to do the career that they have to ignore or tune out people who criticize them. And I guess it's pretty obvious. I've been saying this for years, but I guess I'm just continuously having to remind myself that if you're doing something you believe in, you have to not take it too seriously. People who love what you do, yes, that's good. That can be fuel. But people who don't like what you do, you have to kind of tune it all out and stay true to yourself and do what you really love, and then share it and see what happens. I don't know. I don't know why I just keep having to remind myself of all these different issues of like feeling fear of success, fear of failure. I guess the bottom line is I have a lot of fear. I have a lot of fear. And yet I'm doing this video anyway. So feel the fear and do it anyway. I know that is a book. There's a book called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. So thank you, whoever wrote that book. I appreciate that book. Okay, bye for now. This is Shannon Kring and Goddess Kring. Yeah, bye for now. More soon. Bye.